Lachlan Galvin. We've had so much to talk about this guy. Bright future, and all of a sudden, he's made the commitment that he wants to leave the Tigers. Danny, how did we get to this point?
Well, I don't know if it was all of a sudden, James, because in recent times, over the last couple of years, Lachlan Galvin has gone into the Tigers to ask for a release. It's been on at least 3 or 4 occasions where he's wanted to get out. So on Thursday, there was a meeting where the CEO, Shane Richardson, was meeting with Isaac Moses, the manager of Lachlan Galvin. And at that meeting, Richardson was prepared to make an offer of around $5 million over 5 years, plus a bonus for signing on for next year, so an upgrade of his contract. So it's more than $5 million. He went in prepared to make that offer. He was told by Isaac Moses, don't bother making the offer. So there was no offer made, because they said there was no point to it, because, now this is where it gets really difficult for the Tigers and really quite poisonous, because they were told that under Benji Marshall's coaching, Lachlan Galvin could not reach his potential as a player. That's a huge statement to make from the management of Lachlan Galvin, and obviously it's done with the endorsement of Lachlan Galvin. So,
well, there's no way he's going to be there for the next 2 years, though.
It makes it difficult. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but it's obviously something they've felt for a while, because there's been requests for release previously. So it's not a sudden thing. It's not a sudden, and you know, everyone can blame the manager, but you know what? He's got a client who is acting on his instructions to go there.
This for me is another one of those examples where we need, I don't know about a transfer window, but I think we should go back to the June 30 deadline. He now has to be celebrated, cheered or booed by Tigers fans. It's round 7 this week for all of this year, then all of next year at the Tigers. It's not fair on the Tigers fans to have to put up for a couple of years. I think we have to go back to the June 30 deadline at a minimum, if not find some sort of transfer window. But I just feel sorry for the Tigers fans that have to cheer this bloke on or boo him for the next couple of years. It's so far out from the end of his contract. The Tigers have said they won't release him.
The more immediate problem is Lachlan Galvin turning up day after day, week after week, being coached by Benji Marshall. Now, Benji, I know he was not happy about this, obviously, but I also know that he wants to win. And so he's going to have to keep picking Lachlan Galvin in his side in order to achieve that. However, to me, I mean, Gus, you know the inner workings of a footy club. I don't know how you can possibly have a player there who clearly has made a statement against the coach.
Yeah, I find it extraordinary. I mean, some of the things that came out today, and how much it is actually validated, how much is Lachlan Galvin actually aware of in the discussions that have taken place.
He has to be aware of it.
Between his manager, well, not necessarily, between his manager and management. Management obviously would have been looking for an opportunity to extend him and extend his contract and make him a long-term West Tigers player. And the manager obviously has different plans for Lachlan Galvin. As to discussions around the coaching and the reasons why he wants to leave, I would have thought that would have been, if discussed, a private discussion between the management and the player. But yeah, I find that extraordinary and you know, somewhat untenable, I guess, if in fact Lachlan Galvin comes out and endorses that statement. I doubt that Lachlan Galvin will, to be honest. I doubt that Lachlan Galvin will want to be a party to comments that his current coach can't improve his football for him.
There's some layers to this one, Cam. How would you be managing it?
I don't think Lachlan Galvin's a party to that, to be honest. He doesn't strike me as that sort of kid, nor do I think that he would, at this stage of his career, be in a position where he would even say that or even intimate that. Now, that might be part of the strategy from the manager to, you know, remove him from the club or to indicate the club he's not going to sign an extended deal. The club has reacted by, you know, taking that deal off the table and saying, well, we're not letting him go anyway. You're with us for the next 18 months. I think now, even though he's young, probably Lachlan Galvin's going to have to speak and say, listen, that's either true or it's not true, or no, I'm happy to play here for the next 18 months and I'm happy with the support of my teammates and the coaching that I'm getting. It's not good.
No, it's a difficult situation to be in, right? Particularly in that team environment when you've got a young guy playing in a key position that he plays in, comes out and says, look, I don't want to be a part of this club, you know, moving forward. And I think while I was playing, if there was ever a player that come out and spoke about that, I'd be happy for them to move on, because I want players involved in my club and in my team that want to be there to make a difference, right?
Move on straight away.
Move on straight away. And I think that's what will happen. If there's an opportunity that arises for the Tigers to find a replacement for Lockie, he won't be there next year. And hopefully that's the case for himself and the West Tigers. I can understand also, as you said, Gal, like the fans, they'd be extremely disappointed because this club has unearthed a rare talent, right? He was exceptional in his rookie year last year. We've heard the comments from Gus, how he spoke about, he was by far the best rookie in our competition last year. He didn't pick up the Rookie of the Year award because of a suspension that he picked up through the season. But given what you said there, Danny, about this isn't the first time that the club have been made aware that he wanted to move on. Clearly, Lockie doesn't see his future at the West Tigers where he can have the most development as a player and as a person and get the most out of his football career there. So looking outside in, maybe he's wanted to speak to the club and inform them that right now, while there's still time, to allow them to prepare over the next 18 months.
We can only speculate, Cameron. We can only speculate.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I mean, and this conversation, if in fact it took place, can only be between the player manager and the management of the club. And it's extraordinary that's been made public. I can't understand why that's been made public or who made it public. And that's not a good feel for the club at the moment, who are actually getting off the bottom of the ladder. They're doing some good things. They've got some bright young talent. I've tipped them to make the 8. I think they're going terrific. They've had a good win on the weekend.
It's part of their spine. Like, that's their strength. They've had one of the best front rows in the competition. Like their spine seem to be gelling so well together.
Forget about Lachlan Galvin now and forget about the West Tigers, but this is a product of the system that we've got in the NRL at the moment, where there is unrestricted movement of players between NRL clubs, and managers and players have the power. And now so many contracts are broken or people wanting releases. And that's because the clubs themselves don't acknowledge contracts. When they've got a player they want to move on, they move them on.
That's right.
Right? They pay them out and they move them on.
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways.